If you're having shoe problems like this and you want to know the right technique and the right product to use to glue them back, well, you came to the right video. So today we'll be using this contact adhesive, and there's also other products that we can use. There's many types of adhesive that we can use to glue back rubber and fabric and all these household available items, and this all-purpose adhesive is usually waterproof and up to the job. Super glue is an all-rounder as it dries out very fast and great for quick fixes. However, for moving parts and fabrics, it's best not to use them as it will harden and it will come off when it's dry. White craft glue, although it's available at home and is great for artwork and fabric, but it's not good for heavy duty usages and is best to keep dry. So for today's fix, we'll be using contact adhesive, or sometimes people call it rubber glue or rubber cement, and this is perfect for shoes and rubber parts, and it is waterproof and strong when it's dried up properly. And this one is from Vital Technical, which is Vtech. I got this info from their website, and along with technical details, they also shared application directions. So first of all, for shoes like this, it's best for you to remove the entire shoe from the sole for us to have a very clean application later on. This pair of shoes has been repaired with rubber cement before, but it wasn't repaired properly. And by removing it, we can also see that the other parts which were having the factory glue is not really very sticky. And the other easier way for you to remove this shoe is actually just to soak them overnight and then dry it up, and the factory glue will actually fall off. That's why spotting shoes like this is best not to keep them wet, like after sweating or raining, to make sure that the glue doesn't disintegrate. So after removing the top part of the shoe from the sole, we have to remove the rubber bits as well. I use this metal bristle brush, which I use for my 3D printers, to clean up all the residues that's on it. And especially the leftover glue and dust, make sure that the sole is clean and make it rough so that the glue can catch on to it easily. So these are the old rubber cement. I can just pull it off using my fingers easily and then proceed to clean up the entire sole. Now let's proceed to do the same for the top part of the shoe as well. Make sure that you pick out all the old glue residue because we don't want it to interfere with our new adhesive later on. And repeat the same for the other side of the shoe. Alright, now with all these parts done, it's best to let the shoe dry under the sun to remove any moisture and get it ready for the glue to attach to it. I usually apply the glue using this old paintbrush, better than just using fingers. And to open up the can, it's best to use something blunt and flat and carefully just pry around the lid of the can so that you don't damage the lid, and we can reuse it later on to make sure that the can itself is airtight and preventing the glue from drying out and harden. One thing good about contact adhesive or rubber cement, you don't need to stir it or mix it, and it is already pre-mixed. So with that, we will then use the brush and then gently apply a very thin layer along the side. Usually I will start off with the side because then I can apply it well and make sure that it is all contacting to the edges of the side as we need it to stick on to the upper part of the shoe. So let's go around the entire side before we do the middle part. Pay more attention to the edge, especially this upper tip over here, because we need it to stick properly up on the upper part of the shoe. And this part is the one that's usually coming out first in any shoe. And with that, we continue on until we finish the entire bottom part of the sole. Alright, now we are done with the sole. Make sure that it is evenly spread out with a thin layer, and now we can continue on with the other part of the shoe. Of course, all of this I'm just gonna fast forward it through. Once we are done with both the bottom part of the sole, now let's continue on with the upper part of the shoe. We'll start off with the edge of the shoe, and then by tracing the original line where the shoe was sticking on from factory, we can paint it on and apply the adhesive following the lines. And let's do it all around the shoe from the side first before we attempt the middle part of the shoe. Again, pay more attention to the tip of the shoe, as this part needed to hold on to the bottom tip of the sole properly. So make sure that the glue itself is actually been soaked up, especially by the suede or the leather, before continue on tracing the rest of the edges. Alright, we are done with applying both the top and the bottom part. Well, this part is where most people did it wrong. Do not directly just apply the shoe and hope that the glue will stick it. Just take your time to finish up the other part of the shoe, because we want to let the contact adhesive dry up first. And now let's proceed to cover up the tin, because it shouldn't be left open in the air for more than 15 minutes. So make sure that it's tightly put back on, and now we can store it safely for us to use it next time. So for the contact adhesive, please leave it at least 10 to 15 minutes for it to dry. And after a while, now it is 15 minutes later. So how do we check is we just use our dry and clean fingers. You touch on it, it shouldn't stick on your finger at all. Let's test on the sole and also the upper part of the shoe. Okay, this is perfect because it's not sticking to my fingers at all, and it is actually dry to touch. And with that, this is the right way to use contact adhesive or rubber cement. So now carefully from the bottom part or the ball part, called the heel part of the shoe, just press on it firmly. Make sure that all the original contact points on the side are all aligned, and then press it in. So the two parts, once the two parts of the contact adhesive touches each other, it will stick on to each other. Again, pay more attention to this front part, as this part is usually will come off first in any shoe. Now just press on, use a lot of force to make sure that these two parts are held on together firmly. You can use your body weight to press it down, and my favorite is just hammering the top and the bottom parts down. And with that, we can also use these paper binding clips to give it more pressure to ensure that it is glued in properly. The front tip may be a little bit tricky depending on the shape of the shoe, but we just make sure that all the contact points are contacted properly. And with that, leave the shoe for at least a few hours. It's best to leave it overnight before you put it to stress or wear it. For the purpose of this video, I just left it for 1 hour, and it is actually holding up quite well already. However, it depends on which type or which brand of contact adhesive or rubber cement that you're using. Please refer to the manual and instruction properly. I hope that this video helps you in choosing the right adhesive for your shoe and the proper technique in using contact adhesives. You can check out the other products from Vital Technical. The links are in the description below. And do subscribe and support our channel for the rest of the other Fix Hack DIY. See you next time.